So, all right, let's go ahead and pop presentation up. Rick's coming in. And I forget how to get rid of this part. No, there we go. Play settings. There we go. That way everybody can see. All right, so today's training for the modern agent, which is going to be you guys after you become superstars with our systems. You already are superstars in my heart. We just got to train you up. For 2021, we're going to talk about the Real Geeks auto drip campaigns. So before we get into the drip campaigns, we're going to talk about how do the leads get to our site, how do they get into these drip campaigns, and how does it automate and make our lives super easy to where we just get into the process of converting and developing our leads into clients. So our lead sources, a couple of different places, and there's more than this. Just wanted to talk about a few of them. So we have what we call organic and paid from our website. So we have a full marketing team working stateside extensively to generate quality leads, right? So that keyword of quality, both short-term via paid ads and long-term organically. So I have a 12-month plan with them, and we meet basically almost daily via monday.com, which is a project management collaboration suite. And there's a plan in place to build out our website to over 300 pages so that we are organically the largest page on Guam. That takes time and that takes effort. So you will start to see over the next couple of months more stuff available on our website, including we're going to have every condo building where someone wants to look at a specific condo building. They can click on that link and they'll be able to see all the listings for that site. So paid ads. So just like you see when you search something on Google, so Guam Homes for Sale, Guam Real Estate Agent, etc. We are currently expending a pretty decent budget for both Google, Bing, and Facebook ads to generate. The keyword there is quality leads. So we did a gap analysis and keyword searches and a market understanding of where most of the listings are, as well as we hit a price point that we wanted to target. So the price point being 350K or above, up to 2 million is what we've targeted, so that you generate quality leads of people that are actually looking to buy. And it launched last Thursday night, and then over the weekend, you know, for our team that's already in the round robin, we started seeing a lot of quality leads coming in. We're already starting to work on those conversions. Social media presence. So when I push you guys to build out your pages, you know, on Facebook, Instagram, etc., it's not just you know, for no reason. Basically, the more presence that we have together, where those keywords of Modern Realty Guam, real estate agent, realtor, and your names are popping up, the more organic sources that we start building out on the internet, and we do what's called backlinking to each other. So it's just all in this process of SEO, which is search engine optimization, where we get out there and our sphere of influences build off of each other. So by having those lead sources, and we've talked about, and you guys are slowly building out your accounts, your Facebook pages can drive leads to our website. They will be automatic on the back end. It'll create their account, and you will have a lead from your social media presence. Then, as we talked before, you know, some of you with the recruiting talks that we had, some of you already kind of knew about it, but we were able to buy 100% of the ad share for Realtor.com. So no other firm can advertise on that page. If you go on their website or their app and you start scrolling through searches, you will see our page pop up periodically. Realtor.com, part of that budget that I'm paying them, they also advertise on Facebook from Realtor.com. Let me just make sure Maria's saying that she can't get in, so we'll give her a quick chance to come in. So Realtor.com is going to give us advertising from their own page on Facebook where it displays us, right? So no one else can do that. We're the only agency that can do that. With that, they also have a lead system that's not yet built out where they give courtesy leads and paid leads. So I'm tracking that. It's a different product. It's not available yet. However, we did get our first courtesy lead from them yesterday. Someone clicked on our Alapon Cove listing and it generated their entire profile and it sent it to us. So stuff like that will start happening. So we have multiple sources for lead generation. The other thing that we can do now is build out our premier agent profile on Zillow. It's very similar to your Realtor.com professional dashboard. It's just another process. While Zillow doesn't work yet, we can have our profiles built out with all our reviews, and you can link. Dotloop is owned by Zillow, so we can link your Dotloop account directly to your premier agent account, and you can also get reviews and stuff through Dotloop through the transaction, and it'll automatically post to your Zillow. So a huge conglomerate of lead sources coming in, and these are all linked to automatically drive them into our website. Other sources that we didn't specifically discuss, our page is now Bing and Yelp verified. So Bing is Microsoft, if you didn't know that. Yelp is just another review site. We are still working on being verified by Google. I'm still struggling to make that happen, but I email them every day, and they're just giving me a huge bunch of trouble. Real Satisfied. Real Satisfied, as some of you know, is our review system. We have a review survey set up for pretty much everything that we do. You can get reviews from peers, from other agents. You can get reviews. We lose a listing. We actually sent one out. We lost a listing and we sent one out to the client. And we asked, what can we do better? Why did you choose another firm over us? And literally the guy came back and said, you guys were actually better, but my wife had already talked to another agent and committed to them first. So it was a timing thing, and we learned a lesson, and that's why it's important to move on these things as fast as possible when you get a lead. So we got Bing, Yelp, and Google. You guys can also put up your personal page profiles on these and help market yourselves to create your own presence and link that back to your landing page or your domain that we created for you as well. So we got leads coming in. Now what do we do, right? What happens next? That's kind of the question. Some of you already have some of your accounts set up. You see the emails and texts going out automatically. Your clients are asking you, hey, I got this email from you. And you're kind of like, what? I didn't send you an email, right? So we need to learn the system of what happens. So the system's designed to take those leads that are coming in and convert them into clients. Because if they're just browsing on our page, they're not anything yet. We want to get them, we want to hook them, and we want to put them in a house, right? So how do we do that? The system does give us a lot of automations. So the first 10 days of contact, and you can look at the studies, the first 10 days is pretty much going to make or break whether they become our client or not. So we can show you real quick. I just want to run through, and I've given this all to you individually. It's now available in your agent marketing account so everyone can read it. So the first 10 days, just to give you an idea of what happens. These are templates that start automatically. So even though it says buyer drip, it's actually a general bucket. So what we want to figure out is, are they a buyer or are they a renter? Because we have campaigns built for buyers and we have campaigns built for renters. So this one is going to keep them on the hook and help us determine who they are. So day one, email immediately on sign up. Subject, looking forward to working with you. So it's templated to where it automatically puts in your information. So agent first name, agent last name. So Rodney Washington with Modern Realty Guam. I saw you wanted more information on a property. Are you planning to buy a home or rent? You can actually look at what they're searching and you may be able to figure that out on your own. So you already have a kind of idea ahead of the game, but if for some reason, you weren't able to get to that, this is kind of popping to them. It also pushes them to download our Move To app, right? Our personalized app that only has our firm on it, and it'll drive them to download that. The only downfall of the app at the moment is that it does not have our rentals on it yet. And it's just the way the price points work with the app. Like the minimum search criteria right now is 50,000. So our rentals don't fall into that. Their development team is working on it, and they can't give me a timeline, but it is coming. So they get this email immediately. If they have their phone number, we also text them immediately. So, hi, this is agent, Matt Strickland with Modern Realty Guam. I saw you were looking at properties. You're planning to buy or rent. So we're hitting them up on both forums. Some people respond text, some people respond email. Depending on which way they respond, you can respond back in kind. We also want to call immediately. If we can call them immediately and get them on the hook and find out what they want, we can already drop them into the renter or buyer bucket. We can already figure out what they want and how to help them. If they don't, this tells you, this is your first follow-up, right? So when you see a flag come into your lead and it says you have something due today, this is it. Call your lead, right? See if we can get them on the phone. See if we can get them to become a client. See if we can learn, become personal with them, etc. Email too. So email wait 1 day, day 2. So this auto follows up with them. Sometimes, if you think about it, we're busy, right? We may have talked to the wife, may have said, yeah, let's buy a house. We start looking. We went on this website and we looked at some stuff, saw some cool things. We made an account. It's our plan to buy, but we're just busy right now. We didn't have a chance to answer the phone when you called. The kid knocked over the macaroni and cheese and you had to pick it up, So we want to stay top of mind. How do we stay top of mind? With automations. We don't want them going to another website and getting hooked with another page, right? This automatically is designed with both the buyer and the renter campaigns are designed for 9 months. So we're typically targeting military for the most part, and even civilians that are coming in, they get their orders, 6 to 9 months out. So this campaign drives them through the whole thing. Our first 10 days is giving them some quick information. Here's some facts about OHA. Here's some information about PCS in the Guam. Here's some pros and cons, map, all kinds of good stuff. I'm not going to run through every single scenario. I want you guys to read these campaigns and I want you to learn them so that you understand what is happening for our users. What experience are they having and where are they at in the process based on that? And when you start to understand this, it'll help you talk to them when the first time you get to engage with them, because they see this as coming from you. They think this is coming from you. So you need to know this stuff. So at the end of the 10 days, call to see where they are in the process of moving to Guam and try to bucket them as either a renter or buyer. If they don't pick up, leave a message. This drip is now ended. Make the decision to move them to either the buyer or renter drip. If not sure of their situation, we can move to the buyer drip, just because in the scheme of things, we want to target the buyer, right? The renters are good, but our kind of bread and butter is our buyers. So same thing with the buyer and renter. It steps them through the whole process of how OHA works, how equivalent rent works. It gives them not only information, but it gives them the source documents in case this stuff ever changes. Escrows take minimum 50 to 60 days, sometimes up to 90 days. This is why it's important. So we had a different marketing firm. I gave them a wealth of information about Guam, about military pay, about how all this stuff works. And they wrote this stuff for us to hopefully answer lots of questions that our buyers and renters have, with our ultimate goal of minimizing contact time per client, right? So there's a lot of good stuff in here. I don't want to spend a lot of time reading it to you because you guys can do that on your own, but go through, check it all out. It's built for 9 months, right? So hopefully by this time they're already on island. If not, it's kind of going to say, hey, what's going on? And then we also have a lost buyer drip that's a 6-month follow-up. Maybe they got extended for a year and they're still coming to Guam next year. There's a lot of things that we can still go back and check on them months and months down the road. When your cold calls get slow, when your client base is down, this is when you want to go back through all your old clients that you never closed and call them and see if they're still coming to Guam, if they still have plans to buy. Maybe they showed up here and jumped in a rental because they were worried about it. And now they've been living on base for 6 months and they hate it. And we can put them back into the system, back into a drip, and get them back as clients. All right, so we're gonna jump back over to the PowerPoint. So we got leads now, what? So first 10 days, why is it important? We talked about that. What is a bucket? So the bucket is the campaign. We treat each system like a bucket of information. We want to put them in either the buyer, the renter, or the seller buckets. What happens if they don't answer? The system's going to follow up for you, but it's also going to give you follow-ups to do. So when you log in and you see your task list for the day, hey, you need to call the client, hey, you need to email the client, hey, you need to text the client. All these things we set up for you to create a system where you kind of have a to-do list every day to try to maximize the amount of clients that you're bringing in based off your leads. So we talked about the drip campaigns in pretty good detail. First 10 days, our goal is to figure out who they are, what they are, and when they are, and what is their budget. The paperwork that we send out should help iron this all out. And then don't forget, we also have our buyer products that we trained on last week with the buyer roadmap, the consultation slides that you can do with them. And we have our what is our agency and all that stuff. And I'll put that all into you guys' agent folder so that you can use it and have it ready. Any questions on those specific items before we move on? Okay, so I do want to show you one thing. Cannot minimize Zoom when you're recording. Okay, so we're going to share our screen one. Leads. Okay, so in your system, right? So we got this guy, James Strickland, he popped in as a lead. This is our back-end system. Currently, he is subscribed for the first 10-day campaign, right? So let's say I called him and he answered and was like, yeah, I'll be there in 45 days. I'm looking to buy. I'm ready to go. Who are your lenders? You know, put me in contact, all that good stuff. So we can immediately change their type. You know, they could have, at the moment, it could have just been a client. We don't know. And then we can change them to a buyer. We can change them to a renter. We change their status to active. And then as we move through the process, you can update them. So if they get a house under contract, now they're in escrow, they close it, they close escrow. We still want to keep track of them so we can send them birthday cards, happy anniversary, all that stuff. You can put their time frame in, anything from immediately to 1 year or more. So if they're coming, let's say it's coming in the next 60 days, you got the agent assignment, the urgency, you know, contacted, haven't reached out yet, haven't reached out back yet to us. So we contacted them up, we talked to them on the phone, they're ready to go. Now they're hot. So this kind of just builds your current status. You can come over here, add any activity that you did. So if you called, no answer, called, no answer, you save it. Say you got something to do tomorrow, you got a doctor's appointment in the morning, so you can say, we'll follow up, you know, tomorrow afternoon. And you can set that on a specific date, call it new buyer follow-up, you know, whatever you want to do. Pick the date, pick the time, you save it, and it automatically puts in a reminder. You can, if you set a call, say you maybe have a call with them that you want to do at a certain time, you can set a reminder just like we can in Google Calendar, and this can push your stuff over to your calendar as well. When you scroll down, when I was saying you can figure out what they are, this is this person's entire search history. You can see everything they've been looking at, any favorited properties. So you should be pulling this up in Flex MLS, seeing what the show instructions are. So when you call them, you could say, hey, that property that you favorited on our website is available, it's vacant, and I already talked to the agent, still active. Let's go see it at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Are you available? And they'll be like, oh, sweet, yeah. You know, so anything like that. Let's see what else. Workflows. Okay, so back to the workflow. Let's say you contacted them and they finally answered on day 4, and now you know that they're a buyer. All you gotta do to change them is click workflow right here. Remove them from the current campaign that they are in. And then now they're a buyer. So now we could change them to the buyer drip, right? So now you stop that. Also, if you make contact and you add a make contact note, the system, or if you make contact with them through this platform right here, so if you text from here and they answer, the system will automatically stop the first 10-day campaign because it knows that you've made contact with them, and now you need to update them to their new bucket, whether it's renter or buyer. That makes sense?
So we could just change it, like, because I was trying to do that with one of the that I had. You can just type in follow up, right? And type in like, oh, make contact. We'll talk to them next week.
Yep. So Shimmy's asking, can you go in there and manually update it after you make contact? Exactly. We just were kind of doing. You go in there, make your notes. You can set your follow-ups, and then this system will remind you. When we get, for our iPhone users, you already have the app. For Android, it's coming soon, where you will have this entire system that we're looking at in the palm of your hand, which is super exciting, and it'll be like another level up for us. So just make sure that you have all your email, text, calendar system set up, because this stuff will integrate with everything that you have. And then anything that you push from here will tie in. Anything that you do from here, you'll be able to see down here. And you can also like see what they're looking at if you wanted to see properties and not all the communications in there. So yesterday, this guy was looking at a $4.5 million house. The day before, he favorited it. So, you know, be a big lead, right? Searches, what are they searching for? So you come in here and see what they're searching for. So you can kind of narrow this down to get an understanding and get in their mindset. So when you talk to them, you already know, hey, I see you're looking at the north part of the island in your military. So you must be coming to Air Force Base. Oh, cool. So now you like connected with them, right? You knew something about them and you were able to relate. So in here, from here, you can basically do everything that you want. You can see all the stuff. You can move them around to whatever you need to do. You can even see the source. So it could say agent landing page, and you knew that they came through from your agent landing page. If it says like CPC, that means they came through from a paid click ad. If it says, you know, Facebook, that means they logged in with their Facebook, and we capture their information that way. If you can get any extra information about them, important notes, you know, important notes, you can put their search criteria, any specific stuff, like they want a fenced yard, they have 2 dogs, you know, Fido and Lassie, 35 pounds, 45 pounds, non-aggressive breeds. You can put that stuff like that in there so you don't have to remember it, right? Because remember, like I said last week, it's easy to remember stuff when you have like 3 to 5 clients. When you start getting, you know, 10, 15 at a time, you got schedules lined up for the next 10 days. It's going to be hard to remember all that stuff. So making these little quick notes just to go back and review before you set it up, you know, make your lives a lot easier. So it's actually perfect. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to go over today. And we're at the 25-minute mark. So I'll just give it a couple minutes to see what questions does anyone have. So if you're online, just throw it in the chat real quick. And if you're up here live at the office, just hit me up. Anybody got any questions? You guys got anything here? Okay. Anyone out there in the online world got any questions? Jeff, Maria, Miku, Rick? All right, so we're gonna, Rick, you got a question?
I just think for maybe future trainings, it would be good if everyone's cameras are on, and at least for me personally, when it's more like interactive and we're like bouncing ideas back and forth, I pick up things a little bit better.
Okay, sure. So more interactive and have everyone's cameras on. Yeah, we can do that. So every Tuesday, 10 a.m., we're going to do live trainings. We're also going to be recording. So as soon as I end this meeting, it converts it to an MP4, and we will upload it onto our YouTube channel. So you can go back and watch it later. You can click to that, scroll forward to that specific part to go over the things that I was talking about if you can't remember. And then, like I said, I've just shared the agent marketing folder with everyone. So you can now start getting access to all the templates and Instagram graphics and all that stuff that you can push out on your social media. These buyer drip campaigns in PDF format that we talked about today will all be in there. So I'll start filling that folder up. So check it, every couple of days or so, because there's gonna be new stuff in there coming in all the time. All right, so we're at the half-hour mark, which is perfect. So thanks, guys. Go on about your day and hit me up privately if you need anything, okay? Thank you.